Sink cold plates from yesterday's late dinner. List of tasks still waits like distant winners. Heart keeps counting all the things unfinished. Tiny goals that never reach the image. Still a hand reaches for the window. Lets the air move in a little slower. If a friend described this gentle start, you would guard the corners of their heart. Tell them standing in that quiet glow already means there is somewhere to go. Every little step is real, every small decision heals. Folding one loose shirt in silence, answering one honest message. Every little step is real, even when the world spins still. Nothing needs a louder seal for each little step that feels. Later at a bus stop near the square, traffic hums beneath the autumn air. Friend arrives with eyes a little tired, says they feel like nothing has inspired you. Remind them how they stayed last winter, held a cousin through a shaking whisper. No big gesture, only steady presence, turned a fragile room into a shelter. If that story carried now their name, you would sing the very same refrain. Call each quiet visit, each soft minute, proof that something brave was living in it. Every little step is real, every small decision heals. Cooking simple soup for dinner, lighting one warm kitchen candle. Every little step is real, even when the world spins still. Nothing needs a louder seal for each little step that feels. Lay the crowded checklist on the chair, let the ink drift where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the marching order no one needs. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, signals rise from somewhere deep and kind, marking where a softer day can shine. Every little step is real, hold that sentence as you heal. Pour a glass of simple water, watch it catch the window color. Every little step is real, when tomorrow turns its wheel. Meet the morning as it turns, with the calm that progress Morning light leans gently through the glass. Steam from mugs curls slowly as it passes. Phone lies face down near the folded sweater. Thoughts list everything that should be better. Heart beats faster than the ticking clock. Mind rehearses every coming shock. Feet stay planted on the wooden floor. Part of life still waiting at the door. If a friend described this careful start, words would guard the corners of their heart. Every trembling step toward the sink would be proof they came back from the brink. Soft edges on the day, round the corners of the gray. Let one small decision just listen to the rattle. If that scene belonged to someone new, kindness still would circle round the view. Every quiet minute on that chair would be named as love already there. Soft edges on the day, round the corners of the gray. Let one small decision linger, feel the water touch your fingers. Soft edges on the day, let the sharpest voices sway. Nothing breaks from moving slow, let the gentler rhythm grow. Lay the crowded planner on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. As the breathe in what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time the shoulders lose their guard, every thought that lands a little soft, signals rise from somewhere underneath, pointing where the harsher winds can leave. Soft edges on the day, hold that sentence while you stay. Pour a glass of simple water, offer it like quiet honor. Soft edges on the day, when tomorrow finds its way. Meet the street in slower light, let the edges turn to kind. Voices blending, conversations bent. Headphones rest but music stays in pause. Every sound feels sharper than it was. Heart beats faster than the station air. Neon signs keep flashing everywhere. Palms grow warm around the metal rail, while your breath turns narrow, thin and pale. If a friend described this flooded start, you would guard the corners of their hearts. Say they do not need to match the crowd, they can choose a path that feels less loud. When the world feels too loud, find a tiny piece of ground. Take a glass of simple water, let it calm your inner border. When the world feels too loud, you can breathe beneath the sound. Nothing breaks for slowing down in the middle of this town. Scrape along the broken stair. Overhead announcements blur and echo. Colors shout from every open window. Friend stands frozen near the crowded aisle. Eyes look tired though they try to smile. You remember sing the very same refrain, so that gentle wisdom circles back toward the places where your nerves go black. When the world feels too loud, find a tiny piece of ground, take a glass of simple water, let it calm your inner border. When the world feels too loud, you can breathe beneath the sound. Nothing breaks for slowing down in the middle of this town. Leave the glowing hand sit in your bag. Let the endless beckoning screens go slack. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every step that does not fill it all, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where a softer day can slide. When the world feels too loud, hold that sentence like a cloud. Pour a glass of simple water, watch the surface ripple softer. When the world feels too loud, when tomorrow builds its sound, you can walk the busy street with a steadier inner beat. Morning sun leans softly on the door. Neighbor asks if you are rushing more. Phone lights up with plans along the weekend. Little clouds of should we meet again. Heart feels tender from the week behind. Eyes still slow to match the steady time. Part of you just wants a quiet corner. Part of you rehearses every answer. If a friend described this gentle lake, words would rise to shield the ground they take. Every pause before they choose reply will be called a healthy human sigh. No need to explain today how you feel or why you stay. Let one simple message wander, maybe later counts as honor. No need to explain today, every breath can lead the way. Nothing breaks because you say you will move at softer pace today. Later by the railing near the stairs, coworker keeps stacking little cares. Ask if you can help just one more moment, while your pulse beats louder than the movement. Memory returns from last November, when a cousin trembled by the mirror. You were first to say they could step backward, still be loved without a longer password. If that story carried now their name, heart would sing the very same refrain. So that kindness changes its direction, turns its land into your own reflection. No need to explain today how you feel or why you stay. Let one simple message wander, maybe later counts as honor. No need to explain today, every breath can lead the way. does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease. Not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, signals rise from somewhere deep within, marking where a gentler day begins. No need to explain today. Hold that sentence while you stay. Pour a glass of simple water, let it cool your inner border. No need to explain today. When tomorrow finds its way, you can meet the morning air, knowing quiet choices still are fair. Softly on the sink, kettle hums then quiets while you think. Phone stays face down on the wooden table. Tiny fears still whisper, sharp but stable. Heart moves slower than the passing clock. Shoulders carry yesterday like rock. Bare feet rest along the kitchen tile. Half of mine just wants to sit a while. If a friend described this tender start, words would guard the corners of their heart. Every pause before they face the day would be called a brave and honest way. Nothing urgent in this breath, let it wander through your chest. Let the air arrive and leave without needing you to prove. Nothing urgent in this breath, take a glass and sip the rest. Life can wait one moment more while you stand inside this pause. Later by a window near the tram, engines sigh along the metal span. Coworker admits their pulse is racing. Every hour feels like constant chasing. Memory drifts to nights on faded carpet, holding someone through a quiet target. No grand speech, just matching simple breathing. Turned a crowded mind toward gentle easing. If that story carried someone's name, song would keep the very same refrain. Steady presence in a borrowed room counts as light that softens heavy gloom. Nothing urgent in this breath, let it wander through your chest. Let the air arrive and leave without needing you to prove. Nothing urgent in this breath, take a glass and sip the rest. Life can wait one moment more while you stand inside this pause. Lay the crowded hand sit on the chair, let the screen glow fade into the air. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the list that never seems to cease. Every time the shoulders start to fall, every thought that does not fill it all, signals rise from somewhere deep within, marking where a softer day begins. Nothing urgent in this breath. Hold that sentence in your chest. Pour a glass of simple water. Watch the surface settle softer. Nothing urgent in this breath. When the morning turns its steps, meet the street with quieter eyes, carrying this slower Crowds dissolve beneath a cloudy sky. Phone lights up with colored notifications. Tiny sparks of endless obligations. Heartbeats quicker than the sliding doors. Thoughts drift miles ahead of where you feet stand still beside the yellow marking. Breath forgets the rhythm of its talking. If a friend described this rushing start, words would guard the corners of their heart. They would hear how hard that storm has spun. Call it brave to simply stand. Every task and every fear that happened. Memory drifts to nights on kitchen tiles, matching breath with someone lost for miles. No advice, just quiet, steady presence. Turned a heavy room into a balance. If that scene belonged to any stranger, heart would name that patience something braver. So that same soft verdict turns around, settles in your own unsettled ground. Calm in the middle of everything, space in the center of the ring. One slow inhale on this track brings a little stillness back. Calm in the middle of everything, not an exit, not a win, just a hand upon your chest, saying steady, here is best. Lay the glowing hand, sit on the chair. Let the screen light fade into the air. Ask your breathing what would feel like peace. Not the rule that nothing ever sleeps. Every time you from somewhere deep inside, marking where a softer day can glide. Calm in the middle of everything, hold that sentence like a string. Pour a glass of simple water, watch the surface settle softer. Calm in the middle of everything, when the morning starts again, step into the moving street with that slower inner beat. Stack higher than the sky unfolding. Heart stays quiet near the narrow frame. Shoes wait patient by the wooden grain. Half of you would like to call in early. Half keeps walking through the ground, feels swirly. If a friend described this fragile start, words would guard the corners of their heart. Every step from bedroom into day would be named a brave and human way. Leave a light for yourself in the window, tiny glow above the street below. Cup of tea beside the tilted story, share the weights when hours steal your glory. Leave a light for yourself in the evening, signal home through all the city breathing. Nothing small about a place that says, come back tired, still belong in this. Later near the stairwell by the lift, coworker reveals a hidden rift. Says their days feel strung in tight formation, no soft landing after each rotation. Memory drifts to nights on kitchen tiles, matching breath with someone lost for miles. Lamp stayed on beside the cracked up window, casting comfort more than any symbol. If that scene belonged to someone new, heart would praise the gentle thing you do. So that same soft verdict turns around, falls like lanterns on your common ground. Leave a light for yourself in the window, tiny glow above the street below. Cup of tea beside the tilted story, share that weights when hours steal your glory. Leave a light for yourself in the evening, signal home through all the city breathing. Nothing small about a place that says, come back tired, still belong in this. Lay the crowded planner on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask the breathing what would feel like ease, not the clock that never seems to please. Every time the shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower. Signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where a softer night can hide. Leave a light for yourself in the window, hold that promise when the shadows grow. Pour warm water in a simple mug, wrap both hands around the quiet hug. Leave a light for yourself in the evening, when the morning sends another meeting. Stepping out will still feel less like risk, knowing home keeps saying stay in this. Plates waiting by the sink. Coffee cools while thoughts begin to link. Messages arrive in gentle trickles. Little notes that tug like distant signals. Heart feels heavy from the week behind. Eyes move slowly through the cluttered mind. Still a hand reaches for the curtain, letting in a softer, smaller certain. If a friend described this kind of start, words would guard the corners of their heart. Every step from pillow to the door would be counted as a little more. Quiet winds on ordinary days, standing up and washing just one plate, answering a single simple message, tying shoes and stepping past the gate. Quiet winds on ordinary days, never shout but still they change the way life begins to feel a little kinder around the edges of the gray. Later on a bench beside the road, traffic hums beneath the autumn glow. Friend drops down with shoulders gently sinking, says they feel like all their light is shrinking. Stories pour in fragments from their week, every moment's feeling incomplete. Still they came and met you in this corner, let their honest sentences grow warmer. If that scene belonged to someone new, heart would praise the courage breaking through. Every word that lets the armor fall will be honored as a triumph small. Quiet winds on ordinary days, staying present while a voice explains, holding space without a perfect answer, letting silence share a bit of weight. Quiet winds on ordinary days, never shout but still they change the way life begins to feel a little kinder around the edges of the gray. Lay the crowded checklist on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask the breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time the shoulders start to loosen, every pause where busy wheels stop moving, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking how a gentler life arrives. Quiet winds on ordinary days, hold that sentence in your chest and stay. Pour a glass of simple water slowly, watch the surface catch the window flame. Quiet winds on ordinary days, when tomorrow calls your name again, step outside with all your tender edges, knowing getting here already counts as Morning light draws lines across the table. Half cold coffee stands beside a cable. Phone stays quiet for a fleeting second before duties gather in a crescent. feel somewhere between dull and aching. Thoughts move slower than the plans in making. Hand still reaches for the window blind, lets a soft new stripe of day unwind. If a friend described this restless start, you would guard the corners of their heart. Call it brave to stand inside this room while the world resumes its steady bloom. Small joys still belonging daily, slice of fruit, a stretch, a longer breathe. Warm play waiting on a simple chair, song that plays while feet climb every stair. Small joys still belong when skies feel wrong, tiny notes inside a heavier song. Nothing cancels what they quietly bring when they land like sparrows on your wing. Later at a crossing by the river, street food smoke turns slowly through the silver. Friend arrives with shoulders leaning sideways, says their color faded in the 9 days. Both of you just stand beside the railing, watch a dog attempt a clumsy tailspin. You both laugh before you find a reason. Sudden warmth cuts through the current season. If that story carried someone's name, you would sing the very same refrain. Say that one small burst of unplanned light does not mean the darkness did not bite. Small joys still belong in days like these, slice of fruit, a stretch, a longer breathe. Warm play waiting on a simple chair, song that plays while feet climb every stair. Small joys still belong when skies feel wrong, tiny notes inside a heavier song. Nothing cancels what they quietly bring when they land like sparrows on your wing. Lay the crowded checklist on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to soften, every grin that visits less than often, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where small colors still reside. Small joys still belong in days like these. Hold that sentence while you pour some tea. Glass of water with a steady hand, photo of the late sun over land. Small joys still belong when nights run long, when tomorrow hums another song. Step into the hallway, hear them ring as they sit like sparrows on your wing. restless state, you would tell them they can hesitate. Say their steps do not need to align with the fastest rhythm on the line. Find the pace that feels like home, not the one that shouts in chrome. Let your breathing call the time and let your shoulders choose the climbing. Find the pace that feels like home, where your thoughts can gently roam. Nothing fails for walking slow on the road that you can know. Later near the window by the stair, coworker moves under layer cares. Says they feel like running out of hours, chasing after everybody's towers. Memory drifts to nights on faded carpet, holding someone through a heavy target. You match breathing in that quiet corner. Let their racing mind grow slightly warmer. If that story carried now their name, you would hum the very same refrain. Call that softer tempo in their chest evidence of trying to rest. Find the pace that feels like home, not the one that shouts in chrome. Let your breathing call the time and let your shoulders choose the climbing. Find the pace that feels like home, where your thoughts can gently roam. Nothing fails for walking slow on the road that you can know. Lay the crowded planner on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the voice that never seems to please. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every step that does not fill it all, signals rise from somewhere deep within, pointing where your truer days begin. Find the pace that feels like home, hold that sentence as your own. Pour a glass of simple water, let it steady inner borders. Find the pace that feels like home, when tomorrow starts to roam. You can meet the morning light, moving at the speed that fits just right. The room, unread messages drift through the gloom. Kettle sings and settles into silence. Clock hands push a quiet kind of violence. Heart feels smaller than the list of duties. Eyes move slowly over scattered beauties. The open cupboard. If a friend described this tangle waking, words would guard the ground beneath their thought that lands a little slower. Signals rise from somewhere deep and hidden, marking where a softer pulse has risen. Hold a moment of honest breathing, keep that sentence close when doubts are creeping. Pour some water in a waiting glass, watch the surface catch the window pass. Hold a moment of honest breathing, when the morning turns its wheels to evening. Step back through the hallway to your door, carrying this memory in your core. Feels colder than expected. Bus stop glass reflects a face affected. Phone keeps buzzing in the heavy pocket. Plans stacked tight like numbers on a docket. Heart beats faster than the passing traffic. Thoughts turn corners loud and automatic. Hands stay buried deep inside the sleeves, waiting out the wind between the leaves. If a friend described this fragile season, every step would still be called a reason. Simply standing here inside this weather shows a kind of brave that bends not severs. Offer one quiet yes to living, nothing huge, no perfect giving. Take a breath and taste the morning, let it soften old sharp warnings. Offer one quiet yes to living, while the doubts keep slowly shifting. Nothing grand is needed now, only this small present vow. Later at a table near the station, paper cups and crumbs in slow formation. Friend arrives with eyes a little distant, says their hope feels thin and inconsistent. Stories spill in fragments on the surface, all the ways they think they have no purpose. Still they lift the cup with steady fingers, heat from simple tea on skin that lingers. If that scene belonged to someone else, heart would praise the courage in their self. Every word that lets the silence listen counts as light where hidden corners glisten. Offer one quiet yes to living, nothing huge, no perfect giving. Take a breath and taste the morning, let it soften old sharp warnings. Offer one quiet yes to living, while the doubts keep slowly shifting. Nothing grand is needed now, only the small present vow. Lay the crowded hand sit on the chair, let the screen glow fading to the start to lower. Every heartbeat landing slightly slower. Signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where gentler choices can abide. Offer one quiet yes to live in. Hold that sentence while forgiving. Pour a glass of simple water. Watch it catch the window color. Offer one quiet yes to live in. When the next day comes back singing, step into the hallway light, carrying that softer right. Morning light slides slowly through the frame. Steam from tea draws letters around your name. Phone stays quiet on the folded sweater. List of tasks waits patient, not much better. Heart sits somewhere between numb and sore. Memories scattered on the wooden floor. Still your hand reaches for the window. Lets a thin new stripe of daylight grow. If a friend described this fragile start, words would guard the corners of their heart. Every step from blanket into air would be named a sign that someone cares. Some days will feel lighter than this morning. Clouds will move and leave another shade. You will find a bench beside the chaos. Hear a song that softens what you've paid. Some days will feel lighter. Keep that promise. Tuck it like a note inside your sleeve. Nothing says the weight stays here forever. There are colors you still have not seen. Later on a tram beside the river, metal floor picks up a subtle shiver. Stranger sighs while scrolling through their window, whispers that their hope turned pale and thin low. You remember evenings on the carpet, holding someone through a quiet Target. You could see a future in their outline long before they stepped in to its bright line. If that moment carried their first name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that gentle truth return, touch the places where your worries burn. Some days will feel lighter than this morning. Clouds will move and leave another shade. You will find a bench beside the chaos. Hear a song that softens what you've paid. Some days will feel lighter. Keep that promise. Tuck it like a note inside your sleeve. Nothing says the weight stays here forever. There are colors you still have not seen. Lay the crowded planner on the chair. Let the ink blur where marking where new softer days can enter. Some days will feel lighter, hold that sentence. Pour a glass of simple water, clear, watch the surface catch the kitchen sunlight. Let it stand as proof that you are here. Some days will feel lighter when this passes, when another season paints the scene. Step outside and meet that gentle weather, walking through a world that feels more green. Up above the sink, tiny numbers tell you what to think. Steps and hours, colored little circles, turn your waking into quiet hurdles. Heart feels smaller than the busy graph lines, keep climbing like a moving staff. Bare feet press against the kitchen floor. Wonder if this day will count for more. If a friend described this heavy meter, you would speak with something softer, sweeter. Tell him just existing in this light does not need a perfect shape to write. The day is not a score, not a list of winning more. Breathing by an open window, watching just one crowded plate. Beside the tram, cow worker unfolds a crumpled plan. Says they hate the way their calendar turns each moment into some remainder. You remember evenings with a neighbor when their world felt measured only by labor. You just matched the rhythm of their breathing, called it brave to sit there barely healing. If that story carried now the name, you would sing the very same refrain. So you let that verdict change direction, fall upon your own reflection. The day is not a score, not a list of winning more. Breathing by an open window, watching just one crowded plate. The day is not a score, not a test you must create. Nothing in your quiet rhythm makes this sunrise any late. Leave the graded notebook on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to fall, every time you do not feel it all, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where a gentler truth resides. The day is not a score, hold that sentence at your core. Pour a glass of simple water, watch it catch the kitchen light. The day is not a score, when tomorrow comes in sight, you can meet the morning doorway without needing to be right. Unfinished questions. Every plan replays like old reflections. Heart feels slower than the ticking hands. Breath stays shallow where the silence stands. Fingers trace the water on the faucet. Wonder if your instinct still has logic. If a friend described this kind of trembling, you would guard the ground beneath their stepping. Tell them every choice that came from caring still can count as something brave and daring. There's still a heart worth trusting underneath the second guessing. Every time it pulled towards kindness, even when the map was sightless. There's still a heart worth trusting more than every backwards judging. Nothing cancels what it carried through the nights it stayed and worried. Later by the crossing near the river, traffic hums in long uneven silver. Friend admits they fear their inner compass points through fog instead of shining promise. You recall long evenings on the carpet, holding someone through their breaking target. All you trusted was a steady feeling, yet that simple presence turned to healing. If that story held a stranger's name, you would sing the very same refrain. Call their hesitant but faithful leaning evidence of something deep and gleaming. There is still a heart worth trusting underneath the second guessing. Every time it pulled towards kindness, even when the map was sightless. There is still a heart worth trusting more than every backwards judging. Nothing cancels what it carried through the nights it stayed and worried. Lay the harsh old verdict on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where your truer pulses hide. There is still a heart worth trusting. Hold that sentence while you're adjusting. Pour a glass of simple water. Watch it catch the window color. There is still a heart worth trusting. When tomorrow starts its buzzing, step into the waking street with that rhythm underneath. Morning rush left echoes in your chest. Unread messages still mark the desk. Coffee ring has formed a crooked halo. Phone keeps buzzing under scattered papers. Heart feels slower than the office rhythm. Eyes drift out beyond the tinted window. quietly past the sidelines. If a friend described this kind of fading, every step would still be called worth taking. You would tell them they can loosen focus, let one small kind choice be their new compass. Offer grace for tired afternoons when the light turns softer in the room. Close your eyes for just a breathing moment, let the minutes move without improvement. Offer grace for tired afternoons, leave one task to wait beneath the moon. Nothing breaks for letting go this soon. There is space for tired afternoons. Later by the kitchen on the landing, coworker leans heavy while they're standing. Says the hours feel like thick slow honey. Thoughts move slower than the office humming. You remember evenings on a carpet, sharing silence with a shaking heartbeat. No big speech, just matching simple breathing. Turned a crowded mind toward gentle easing. If that story carried now their name, some would keep the very same refrain. Every pause that let their shoulders soften would be honored as a quiet courage. Offer grace for tired afternoons when the light turns softer in the room. Close your eyes for just a breathing moment, let the minutes move without improvement. Offer grace for tired afternoons, leave one task to wait beneath the moon. Nothing breaks for letting go this soon. There is space for tired afternoons. Lay the crowded planner on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where a kinder pace can hide. Offer grace for tired afternoons, hold that sentence like a gentle tune. Pour a glass of simple water slowly, watch it catch the late day silver glow. Offer grace for tired afternoons when tomorrow paints its newer blues. You can meet the morning sun that blooms, holding love for tired afternoons. Morning lighting softly on the wall, mug sits cooling by the bedroom door. Phone keeps buzzing under folded sweater, plans stack higher than the week before. drifts further than the kitchen window. Thoughts replay each almost nearly maybe. Feet stay planted on the faded carpet. Wonder if this day can feel less heavy. If a friend described this quiet shaking, hands that move just to keep from breaking, words would rise to wrap their tired breathing. Call each step a kind of hidden healing. I will hold my heart tonight like a candle in low light. I will speak with softer phrases over all these scattered pages. I will hold my heart tonight, let the silence feel alright. Nothing has to prove its place, just to rest inside this space. Later in the break room by the window, colleague sips a drink that lost its steam. Says they feel too worn to keep explaining why their focus slips between the seams. Memory returns from autumn evenings, sitting on the floor with trembling cousin. All that helped was staying through the darkness, letting quiet company mean something. If that story carried their own label, every breath would count as still quite able. So that gentle verdict changes angle, turns around and lands in my own center. I will hold my heart tonight like a candle in low light. I will speak with softer phrases over all these scattered pages. I will hold my heart tonight, let the silence feel alright. Nothing has to prove its place, just to rest inside this. Turn the glowing handset to the table, let the screen fade down without a label. Ask this breathing what would feel like mercy, not the rule that nothing can show weakness. Every time my shoulders start to loosen, every thought that falls instead of rushing, signals rise from somewhere deep and tender, showing where a kinder life can enter. I will hold my heart tonight, keep that vow within my sight. Pour a glass of simple water, watch it catch the hallway color. I will hold my heart tonight, when the morning lifts its light. Steps can leave this narrow room, walking with a softer tune. Morning train glides past the rows of housing. Window glass reflects a face still doubting. Phone keeps buzzing from a crowded pocket. All those tiny claims upon the docket. Heart remembers every missed occasion, every slip replayed in quiet vision. Palms pressed lightly to the metal a softer shelter. I am learning to be on my side at last, holding hands with every shadow from the past, letting go of all the harsh unending lines, drawing kinder shapes around this life of mine. I am learning to be on my side at last, pouring water, watching daylight move through glass. Nothing needs perfection for this heart to cast one small loyal echo on my side at last. Later at a table near the market, friend spreads papers out across the carpet, talks about decisions that went sideways, blames their heart for leading them the wrong way. Memory drifts back to last December, when that same soft soul could still remember how they stayed beside a cousin's struggle, turned a shaking night into a bubble. If that story carried their own name, every note would keep the same refrain, calling every choice that leaned toward caring proof that something clear inside was daring. I am learning to be on my side at last, holding hands with every shadow from the past, letting go of all the harsh unending lines, drawing kinder shapes around this life of mine. I am learning to be on my side at last, pouring water, watching daylight move through glass. Nothing needs perfection for this heart to cast one small loyal echo on my side at last. Leave the old report card on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask this breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time these shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep and steady, saying inner kindness might be ready. I am learning to be on my side at last, hold that sentence while the doubts rush past, pour a glass of simple water in this light, let it stand as proof that I am still alright. I am learning to be on my side at last, when tomorrow leans its questions on the glass, feet can leave this doorway, heart can be its path, walking with the whisper on my side at last. On my side at last. Morning light rests pale across the sink. Kettle hums and gives me time to think. Phone lies face down near the folded sweater. Thoughts line up in rows that know me better. Heart remembers every sharp conclusion, every late night restless small confusion. Fingers trace the pattern on the table. Wonder if my voice inside feels able. If a friend described this fragile weather, I would pull their weary hands together. Say their doubts do not erase their kindness. Say their fear does not remove their brightness. I am just listening gently to myself, like I would to someone else. Let each sentence land and breathe without pushing it to leave. I am listening gently to myself, every worry on the shelf. Nothing needs a perfect shelf for a heart that calls for help. Later on a tram beside the river, windows shake with every little shiver. Friend leans in and speaks of old decisions, thinks their inner compass lost its vision. I recall the nights I sat beside them, watched their courage flicker then grow brighter. All I offered was a quiet shoulder. Still that simple space became a shelter. If that story carried now their name, I would sing the very same refrain. Call their careful spirit something steady, long before they felt their healing ready. I am listening gently to myself, like I would to someone else. Let each sentence land and breathe without pushing it to leave. I am listening gently to myself, every worry on the shelf. Nothing needs a perfect shelf for a heart that calls for help. Lay the harsh report card on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask this breathing what would feel like ease, not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time my shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep and hidden, showing where new softer words can live in. I am listening gently to myself, hold that promise like a bell. Pour a glass of simple water, watch it catch the hallway color. I am listening gently to myself, when tomorrow calls for help. Steps can meet the waking street with my own voice underneath. be named, a quiet kind of wind. Rest without apology tonight. Let the pillow hold a bit more weight. Close the screen and let the silence rise. Leave one message waiting at the gate. Rest without apology tonight. No explanation written in your chest. Nothing needs a reason for this moment, other than the need to simply rest. Later near the window by the stair, coworker stacks folders in the air. Says they feel like stopping for a second, yet their guilt keeps ringing every question. Memory drifts back to last July, sitting with a cousin who could cry. All that helped was turning down the volume, letting quiet gather in the room. If that story carried now their name, a song inside would sing the same refrain. Every time they chose a slower turning, counted as a kind of hidden learning. Rest without apology tonight. Let the pillow hold a bit more weight. Close the screen and let the silence rise. Leave one message waiting at the gate. Rest without apology tonight. No explanation written in your chest. Nothing needs a reason for this moment, other than the need to simply rest. Lay the crowded planner on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask you breathing what would feel like ease. Not the rule that nothing ever frees. Every time those shoulders start to lower, every heartbeat landing slightly slower, signals rise from somewhere deep and tender, mark the place where softer days can enter. Rest without apology tonight. Hold that sentence underneath the light. Pour a glass of simple water, clear. Watch it catch the color of the year. Rest without apology tonight. When the morning climbs the window frame, step into the hallway with the knowledge. Taking care of tired bones is not a shame. Morning light falls quiet on the bed. Curtain edges frame a spinning head. Phone shows headlines, emails, unread offers. Every square demands a sharper posture. Heart feels smaller than the heavy ceiling. Memories list every troubled feeling. Still the kettle hums along the hallway. Hands reach out and choose a softer coffee. If a friend described this fragile weather, I would hold their tired hands together. Tell them every time they stood beside someone breaking, something bright survived. Let the kindness count for something more than every slip and stumble. All the nights you they feel like nothing more than trouble. Only see the times they burst a bubble. Memory returns from last September, when their steady voice held back your weather. They walked with you through a dim apartment, turned a narrow room into a garden. If the story carried now their name, I would sing the very same refrain. Call each gentle visit, each small favor, proof of something deep that still has flavor. Let the kindness count for something more than every slip and stumble. All the nights you stayed and listened, all the tears you did not fumble. Let the kindness count for something when the doubts feel loud and crushing. Nothing takes away those moments where your heart was quietly open. Lay the harsh old ledger on the chair, let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask this breathing what would feel like ease, not the list that nothing ever frees. Every time the shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where your softer truths reside. Let the kindness count for something. Hold that sentence while you're trusting. Pour some water in a waiting glass. Watch the window colors through it pass. Let the kindness count for something. When the morning starts its drumming, step into the waking street and know all that quiet care still moves below. What story carried now their name? You would hum the very same refrain. Call each cancelled plan a hidden rescue from a storm that never should have pressed you. Make gentle plans for gentle days. Leave some space for changing ways. Let a walk replace one meeting. Let a call replace a greeting. Make gentle plans for gentle days. Let your body choose the pace. Nothing breaks when schedules sway round a softer human way. Lay the crowded planner on the chair. Let the ink blur where it does not care. Ask your breathing what would feel like ease. Not the list that nothing ever frees. Every time your shoulders start to lower, every thought that lands a little slower, signals rise from somewhere deep inside, marking where a truer pace can guide. Make